Unbeaten at home to Sunderland in the Premier League, the Opta supercomputer gives Arsenal a huge 79.6% chance of claiming maximum points here. Sunderland have lost 17 and won just one of their last 28 league meetings with Arsenal. That sole success was in November 2009. Having moved to steps closer to a potential quadruple in the last week, Arsenal will seek a third win in 8 days when they welcome Sunderland to North London on Saturday. As well as still being in the Champions League and FA Cup, the Gunners are 6 points clear at the Premier League summit after thrashing last week, while closest challengers Manchester City and Aston Villa both drop points. History is waiting to be written, with the club still fighting on 4 fronts, but a first top-flight title since 2004 is perhaps the most coveted prize of all. Next month's EFL Cup showpiece will be their first final since lifting the FA Cup back in 2020, and victory could set the tone for an action-packed run-in. They can't afford to look too far ahead, though. Last week's 4-0 victory over Leeds United ended a 3-match winless streak in the Premier League and laid down a marker as Arsenal posted 5 away wins in a single month for just the second time in their history. They quietened a fervent Elland Road as they took some familiar routes to goal. Following first-half strikes from Martin Zubimendi and Noni Madueke, they've scored the joint most headers in this season's Premier League 10, level with Tottenham, and they continue to excel from set pieces. Including Madueke's direct effort against Leeds, Arsenal have also scored the most goals from corners, 14, already leaving them just as shy of the best total an entire Premier League campaign, 16 by Oldham in 1992-93, West Brom in 2016-17, and themselves 2 years ago. It would be no surprise, then, if Regis Lebris has spent much of this week drilling his defence in how to deal with set pieces, as Sunderland prepare for one of the top flight's toughest away days. The Black Cats bounced back from defeat to relegation-threatened West Ham by beating Burnley 3-0 on Monday, extending a tremendous record at the Stadium of Light. Their visitors recorded no attempts on target, as Sunderland followed an early own goal with strikes from Habib Diarra, whose deflected shot had led to the opener, and a stunning goal from Chemsteen Talbi. Sitting 8th in the table, making them unexpected contenders for Europe, last term's Championship playoff winners remain unbeaten at home in the Premier League. Remarkably, that's the longest streak at the start of a top-tier campaign by any promoted side since Nottingham Forest went the whole 1977-78 season without losing on home turf. However, there's a distinct disparity with their fortunes on the road. A grim record of 2 wins and 6 goals scored from 12 away games tells its own tale. So, although Arsenal dramatically lost their last Premier League home fixture to Manchester United, they'll expect to avoid consecutive league defeats at the Emirates. That last occurred in April 2022. Sunderland are sure to come under more pressure this weekend. Only 2 teams have faced more shots in the Premier League, 337. Yet the Black Cats have conceded the joint third fewest goals, 26. The stellar contribution of Robin Roos explains that the Dutch goalkeeper has made the third most saves, 76, has the second best save percentage, 74.3%, and boasts the joint 5th most clean sheets, 8, of any goalkeeper in England's top tier. As for team news, Arsenal utility man Mikel Merino could be sidelined for an extended period with a foot injury. Captain Martin Odegaard was absent in midweek, and Bukayo Saka also did not feature against Chelsea after withdrawing from the warm-up at Leeds last weekend. Still, Kai Havertz has recently made a feel-good comeback, while Victor Gyökeres seems to be finding his feet. The Swedish striker has registered 4 goals from his last 6 appearances, and is now Arsenal's top scorer across all competitions with 11. Furthermore, 4 of Gyökeres' 6 Premier League strikes have come against promoted clubs, 3 versus Leeds, and 1 against Burnley. Sunderland's chief concern is the continued absence of their inspirational captain, ex-Arsenal skipper Granit Xhaka. The Swiss midfielder has been missed since suffering an ankle injury, with his manager saying last week that he hopes to have him back around mid-February. Brian Brobby's late leveller secured a 2-2 home draw for Sunderland in this season's reverse fixture, but they've never won in 16 Premier League away games against Arsenal D5L 1-1, only visiting Liverpool more often without a victory in the competition's 17. Given Arsenal's historical superiority and the fact they are top of the pile, it's no surprise the Opta supercomputer rates their chance of success at 79.6%. Rock solid on home soil, Sunderland tend to falter when away from Wearside, and the Black Cats won in just 8% of 10,000 pre-match simulations, with the remaining 12.4% being drawn. Arsenal, David Raya, Jurrien Timber, William Saliba, Gabriel Magalhaes, Ricardo Calafiori, Martin Zubimendi, Declan Rice, Eberechiez, Noni Madueke, Gabriel Martinelli, Victor Gyokeres. Head coach, Mikel Arteta, Sunderland, Robin Roos, Nordi Mukil, Dan Ballard, Omar Alderete, Reynaldo Mondava, Lut Shorogea-Truida, Noah Siddiqui, Trai Hume, Chemsteen Talby, Inzo Leffi, Brian Brobby. Head coach, Regis Lebris,